First. All right, guys. So, like I said, or like I've always been telling you, anytime a prominent person from Africa comes to Germany or Hamburg to be precise, they always come on Lapote YouTube channel. And today I have with me another prominent person, another prominent gospel singer. In fact, this guy I'm talking about is a legend, and he's here with me in Hamburg. So we want to get to know him. So today he's here with me on addressing the issues with Jay. So, Minister Nketia.
Yes, sir.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, personally for me, I know you already. Okay. But like I said, when we do this thing, we do it so that the people who are here in the Europe or Germany to be precise, or Hamburg, especially those that are born here that they don't know you that much, they also get to know you. And so when someone comes to the show, one of the first things I like to get to know is their name and why they choose their name. Because from where we come from, name is very important. Yeah. A name holds a lot of meaning. Okay. So why the name Noble Nketia? Someone would think maybe you are coming from a royal family. That's why I use the word Noble. So let's get to know.
All right. So yes, technically, my name is Noble Richard Nketia.
Oh, okay.
And my mom actually named me.
Okay.
Or let me say, my dad gave the name Richard Nketia.
Richard Nketia, okay.
And when I was being named, again, my grandfather asked that they add the name Noble to my name because he sees that I'm going to be a noble person.
Oh, wow. Your grandfather saw the vision in voice.
Yes.
That's interesting. Oh, okay.
Yes, so they added the name. So then he made them interchange the name made the Richard the middle name and the Noble the first name.
The Noble the first name. Okay, anyway, that's good. That's good to know. So for those of you out there, you are wondering why the name Noble is added to his name, you just give all the explanation. It comes from the grandfather. Like I said, the grandfather saw the vision before it came, so it's good we have that out of the way. And I want to find out this from you. Anytime someone is out there and they are singing music, there's always a story behind. You know, they definitely started from somewhere. It was one or two reasons that made them go into music. And I've heard you share your story on a different platform. But like I said, on this platform too, we would like to know how or what made you go into music, something like that.
Yeah, so my dad is a musician.
Oh, okay.
My mom was a singer herself.
Oh, okay.
And I think my grandfather is a musician. My grandfather was a talented musician as well.
So I guess it runs in the family.
So it runs into the family.
Oh, okay.
But then I think I love music by nature. Like, I was born with it. And I grew up following my dad as he goes around to minister and sing. My dad had a group called the Great Christian Singers.
Great Christian Singers. I think that was
yes, it was that's in the 80s, 70s.
I was just a baby.
Yes, in the 70s. 70, well, I can't really tell, but then it was a choral group, and it was through that choral group that my dad met my mom. That I came.
Oh, okay.
From, and so even whilst he goes around to sing in programs, and I used to follow him. So I guess that I pick up that interest from there. And then most importantly, because the music thing was inside me.
Inside you, okay.
It started developing right from there. But then my mom had always wanted me to become a doctor.
Oh, wow. Here we go. The typical African.
Yes. And then for some reason, due to the way and manner she and my dad got divorced or separated, she didn't want to have anything
to do
with music because it always reminds her of her past. And even though she knew that I had that gift inside me, she didn't want to do it. She was a medical practitioner.
Oh, okay.
And she loved to see the doctors move around the hospital with their stethoscope and they're wearing their white, those, and then she also wanted the son to become a doctor as well. But I guess as destined wanted to be, that was not what it happened.
There's a saying that goes, we plan, but God laughs. So
Exactly.
probably that's not God's plan.
So after secondary school, I worked for a little while, and then a gentleman called Maurice Babyface discovered me, and that's how my music started. Yes, sure.
Okay, that's good. Someone would have thought, like you said, since your dad was already into music, maybe he would be the one that will maybe lead you into going into music. But you got discovered by somebody else, and then you got into the music thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was singing. I when I was in school, I joined the school choir.
School choir, yeah.
Which apparently was being taught or trained by my dad.
Oh, okay.
So he actually trained me to become. He taught me music. in itself, and I developed whilst I was in the choir. I remember I was in the school choir, and then I graduated into the zonal choir, into the district choir, and then into the regional choir. And whilst even as I go up on the ladder, there's a lot of things that I gained experience and all that. And then I remember my dad had a collection of various kind of music. In those days when we used to play cassettes.
Cassettes, yeah, that's a long time ago.
He had a collection of so many from all over the world. And he loved music himself, so every now and then we are listening to so many kinds of music put together, and then I remember I used to learn most of the songs because then he repeatedly kept on playing the song. So even as I listened, and even as I learned how to sing the songs, I picked up so many things from it. And then of course the school choir, the choral group that I was in, and so. But then I started singing as a soloist when I got to secondary school. That's when my gifting actually revealed itself. And then I had opportunity to be singing at most of the church services. I'm almost every church service on campus, and then every program that was there. And I also joined the SU. So every time when we go to church, I'm singing. I joined the SU. The SU had a choir called the Victorious Singers. I joined the school choir, and then we used to go out. My former headmaster, my senior secondary school headmaster, his name is Kontinchi. I mean, may his soul rest in peace. He died some few years ago. And I think he also loved the music. And then he started a singing group in. We started a singing group on campus, and because he loved the music and he loved what I was doing, then it encouraged him to also buy a set of musical instruments for us, and so it also gave us the exposure. And then we used to go for school programs, and many times when he goes for church meeting, he would take us along with the school bus, and we would go and perform and all that. So that's how it all started from, and that was where it was built. And so after school, like I said, I did a couple of. I worked for a while, and then Maurice Babyface came in.
All right, guys. So if you are still watching, like I said, this is Lapote YouTube channel, and I'm here with one of the music legend that is coming from Ghana. So if there's anything that you think you want to know about him that you don't know now, we're going to talk all about it here. So I'll keep watching. So I listened to couple of interviews I think you had, and you were talking about the struggles and the stuffs you were going through before you started music. And one will ask, like you said, you've been singing right from childhood, let me put it that way, from school and all that, and even churches, like you said. So is that to say that whilst you were doing all this thing, there wasn't any fun coming from the churches and all these places that you used to sing?
Well, not all people actually knew that I had that gift. The singing thing was mainly on campus, apart from JSS where I joined the school choir and all that. The people that were most of the people that are around me didn't think that I had that potential to that level. Because most of the time at home I don't do that. Mostly at home it's serious business. You have to I had to do all the things that I have to do to help mom raise money and all that. So that was not that time for you to go go into singing for somebody to even discover you. So it was just per divine intervention or by somehow that very faithful day I was washing and singing, and then Maurice heard my voice, and he thought that I had a great voice, and then as good as a person that he was, he said that he wants to take me to the studio to go to record me as a. By then I was not thinking of recording any song or to become an artist was not part of my It was survival of the. I mean, how we could survive, and if it wasn't, I just only love to sing, and I remember, even at church, I mean, I used to beg that they should make me sing, but they wouldn't let me sing because they didn't think that I was that good. You know, until my first album came out, that's when they really got to know that I really have the gift and all the potential. And that's how it was,
You know, sometimes life can be like that. The people who actually surround you will not believe in you immediately until you do something, then they go like, oh, so he's that good. So with that said, I don't know, Maurice, wherever you are, we just want to say thank you for giving us one of the legends of our time.
God
you know, so
much.
we really appreciate. So speaking of which, like you said, your first music. Your first music. When your first music hits, what was it like? Did you actually make a lot from that, your first music?
In those days, to be honest, we weren't thinking about the money much. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier on, I didn't think that, I was not thinking of becoming a music star and being there and having all the money and all that. I didn't know what it takes to become a star. You know, so it came like all of a sudden.
Surprise.
And at that time, it wasn't just about it was just about being able to sing, for people to hear you, being a blessing to people and all that. So the money aspect was not the second thought. It was a afterthought. But whilst we did, then you need people to advise you on what to do, how to live your life, how to manage your life, how to manage your career. And in those days again, music in Ghana was not fetching that much. It was basically much more of those executive producers that are promoting, so that make the money much more, and we were given some. For instance, it was 70-30 for me.
70-30. That was the deal.
Yes, the deal. My executive producer is supposed to take 70 now. I'm supposed to take 30. And in those days, most people didn't have the money to record and all this. And so if somebody has the money to record and to promote the music, it's going
to take.
Exactly. So that was basically what it was then. But so we didn't make so much money from that time. But as time goes on, times evolved and all that, then we learned that actually we can make money from it. But by the time we realized that it was too late, because then the issue of piracy and all this thing had come on. People are downloading,
using pen drive and pulling music.
And most of these promoters were leaving the scene and all that. So it became much more of you funding your own thing, and then if you are fortunate, then you get being invited to programs. You make money. And again, in those days too, it was more like when you're doing gospel, it's just like we say in Ghana,
That means you are just doing it for free and giving it.
Yes. That is God who gave it to me for free, so I
yeah.
must also do it for free.
But you know, you've raised something. The Bible says a man's talent is going to pave
Exactly,
way
but
for
we
him
were in,
for-
when they had a very nice and beautiful way of making it look like you're doing service to the people of God and all that. So you, even if that one was there, they won't show you that bit.
But minister, here's where I have the problem. This is what I don't understand. So, like you said, singing is a talent. The man of God who mounts the pulpit to also preach, he's been paid all right. Even I remember those days, it's been hard to pay instrumentalists.
Yeah.
So, what will you say is the reason why it's like that? They make it feel like pastors should be paid, but someone who God has given the talent to sing will not be paid. Why is it so?
Like
Because up in the States, I can say, or in the Western world, it's not like that. So
I know.
why is it like that?
Yes, you know, time changes, and now the people are beginning to understand all these things and the business aspect of this whole ministry thing and all that. But then, not much was said about these things that we know now. So even if it was hidden from you, so that you don't know, so that you demand for it. And education or the knowledge of technology wasn't so much then. And so now today I can go into the net and read about all these things to know, but then somebody has to actually teach you to make you understand all this, and they were hiding those things from us. So I remember even those days when we do videos and they put it on YouTube, they would tell us they're advertising the videos for us. Meanwhile, they were making money. Yes, and we didn't know all those things. But with time, we came to understand all this. We discovered all these things, and now we are knowing the business aspect of the whole thing.
We'll come back to the business aspect and the whole money issue. But I don't know if people tell you, but Minister Noble, for me personally, if you ask me, I think you are a legend. Because being in this music industry for 20 years and still counting, that's a lot. I know people who've been it and they've not even lasted this long. So what is it for you, or what is it that keeps you going, or what is it that kept you still in the industry for you to be doing music for this past 20 years?
First of all, is the grace of God.
Okay.
2 is humility, and 3 is giving myself entirely to the direction and the call of God. There are so many people in the industry. There's so many gospel artists, and I must say, each one of us has our own reasons for doing what we do. Some of us have been called. Some are doing that because they just love it. Some are doing it because they want the money in it. Some are doing it even for the fame. Some people even do the gospel music because they want the opportunity to travel. So it depends on the vision of the person and what the person is doing. But I think that what has carried me all these years and what has really hold is, one, like I said, is the grace of God. And because when God calls you, He gives you what it takes to be able to sustain you, to take you to as long as to the destination He wants to take you. And again, as a person that's knowing that whatever I have, what the gift I have, and this was given to me by God, and He is the one who called me into the ministry and all that. You have to humble yourself, to align yourself with Him, to go in the direction to which He is directing you to. If not, if you decide to do things on your own, you look at the things that is evolving around the world and you want to do like what others do, then you won't have that grace to carry on. So if you ask that question, I'll say that yes, again, it's the grace of God, it's humility, and aligning myself with God.
All right, guys, you just heard it all from the legend here. I'm sure there are a whole lot of young guys who are out there who also wants to do music. So if you've started this music thing and you want to be in the music thing for long, at least he has mentioned it all, humility, and what else did you say?
Yeah, the grace of God. You need the grace of God. You need to be humble, and of course to walk in the right path that God wants you.
Exactly. So yeah, speaking of which, Minister, there's something I want to say. You know, I'm very happy that we are having this interview here, and you know, people normally have this notion that when someone comes onto a show and they don't speak English, that means they don't hear English. Because for most of your interviews that I have watched myself there personally, it was done in the local language.
Yes. Okay.
And speaking of the local language, your songs that I know, almost songs all that I know are in Tree. I don't know if there have been other English ones, but the most popular ones that are out there are Tree. And the question I want to ask, or what I want to find out is, back in the days, like you said, when you started with this whole music thing, were you just looking at trying to satisfy just the Ghanaian community? Were you thinking about cutting across? Because even though sometimes you can do music in the local language and stuff like that, for you to really go international somehow, there's a need for you to be able to fuse the English like most artists are doing. Now, if we look at our Nigerian brothers, sometimes they sing song and they put one or two English. And another thing, because Nigerians always speak Pidgin, so they can sing a whole song in Pidgin, and someone even thinks in English. And I think that is what is pushing them. So I want to find out, when you guys started doing your music, did you think of crossing the shores of Ghana, or at that time you were only looking at doing songs to satisfy the Ghanaian community?
I was not doing songs to satisfy a community or a group of people. I was just only availing myself for God to use me to be a blessing to many people. Now I have English songs, but then, of course, God has a reason for placing me in Ghana. There are Africans who were born in America. They speak the language English. God could have made them being born in Africa at that time, but they were born in America. Now, your environment determines the demands what it comes. Now, I feel personally that God placed a person in a particular region for a particular purpose and to serve a particular people. Now, if I know how to sing English songs, I don't know how to do it better than the American.
Oh, okay.
And then God also has a reason for making some people being born in a certain area of the world. When you go to China, they sing their songs in China. They are not thinking of doing their songs in English because they want English people to do so. You get what I'm saying? The question is, how do my people understand what I'm doing, what I am singing, what I want to tell them? If God wanted me to do songs in English so that I'll cut across whatever, He will let me be born in America. Or He will let me begin in America. So I believe that I was born in a certain place for a certain purpose. However, now, for example, when I was growing up, I was listening to people like Rebecca Malupe and others, and they did their songs in Swahili and this, and they were being a blessing to us. I was singing songs in Swahili when I did not understand. Their songs were touching me, even though I did not really understand whatever. So, like I rightly said in the beginning, when the grace of God is upon you, and when you align yourself with God and His direction is going to. It doesn't matter if your song is in Tree. If it will bless an American, it will bless an American. Let me give you an example. And there was this instance, as far back as 2007, when I received a call from a Ghanaian lady who was working in America, and she was a nurse. And according to her, she was attending to a patient who was on a life support in America. And then those times was when we were having the MP3 players and all that. And then she used to carry some to work while she works and listen to the song. And then there was one moment she was attending to this particular woman, I said was on a life support. And she was listening to my song, Nketia. And she was smiling and singing the song because she was being blessed by the song. And the woman saw it and I asked her why she was so excited about it. And she mentioned that it was a song. And according to the nurse, the Ghanaian nurse, the woman asked that she make her listen to the song that she's listening to. Apparently she gave to the woman. When she left the player and went to continue her work. When she closed from work and came for the MP3 player, the woman says she wants you to be remembered. She wants to listen to the song that she's listening to. according to the woman, the next day she was off. But the third day, she was called to the hospital. And she said she was frightened. Because normally when they call you to the day that you are not supposed to be working in such a manner, it means probably something has happened. And then to make her matters even worse, she was called to some place they call a strong room, where doctors gather around to decide on what to do with the patient or whatever. So when she got there, they asked her, what therapy did she give to the woman? And she said she didn't give. You know, a Ghanaian, she was frightened. She said, exactly. I didn't do anything. I didn't give anything. I did the things that I was supposed to do and administer the drugs. He says, no, but you did something you gave a treatment to the woman. So the end of the whole thing was by the song, the power that was in the song, the woman was revived, even though she did not understand the language. It was later on that she asked the nurse to interpret the song to her. And that day they had called me. The woman was out of the hospital. Somebody who was on life support. She just only have to put out the life support and she'll be gone. The family had even given up on her and said they should put her off the life support and let her go because she's tired for that. But then the woman came back to them. Now it wasn't in English, the song wasn't in English, but then by the power that was in the song, this woman came back and got well. And I remember those times they were so excited. The family even sent me some few dollars. And so what am I trying to say? It doesn't matter the language. It doesn't matter what's in it. What matters is the power that is behind the song.
Yes.
That is why, as a gospel artist, you must draw a line. There should be a difference between what you do and what the secular world do. Theirs is to entertain, but ours is to impart lives, to bring healing, to bring revival. And the revival doesn't come by what you understand. It comes by what the power that is behind whatever you do. So it also comes back to the fact that's why we have to avail ourselves for God to use us to be a blessing to people. It's not about what I think that people wants to hear. It's about what God wants you to give to the people. And when you do that, God always is in the business of giving to his people what they need at every possible time. And like I said, in those days, we didn't understand these South African songs, but they were being a blessing to us so many times before these Americans started coming in. There were songs. Some people do music in Ewe. I'm not an Ewe, but they still do the song and it blesses. Some Ewe people who do not understand the Tree language were being blessed by my Tree songs. So it was not a matter of if God wants today. I am here today. And I had opportunities where I have ministered outside the country to white people and all that. That is what God does in his own time. You know, when God wants you to get there, he wants you to. The truth of the matter is there are some people that will never be like some other people, no matter how hard they try. It is what God wants it to be. But the truth is that the many people I have been a blessing to, there are international stars or musicians that has not been a blessing to these people. So you ask yourself, my grandmother that is in the village or in there, who does not understand what I glorify you or you are excellent and all this. We exalt you and all that. How do they understand who God is, what it takes to serve and worship God to, if it is not done in what they understand? You understand? So, yes, you may want to do what you want to do, the world demands you to do. But the question you also ask yourself is that, are you doing it for your own purpose, for God's purpose, or for God's purpose?
All right, Minister, thanks for taking your time to answer your question. And like I said, this is why we do some of these interviews or we do this thing. Like I said, we are still on Lapote YouTube channel. So if you like this interview that we are bringing to you, subscribe to our channel and give us some like and share some comments. So it's good, like I said, that you've explained this. And, you know, how should I put it? Under normal circumstances, if you have, and that is what separates people who do gospel music from the secular music. And then again, if this should be a case whereby maybe you are under a management, and they want to make money. They want to sell you out so that at least they will get whatever they are putting in. So in a case like this, they are going to tell you, oh, okay, Minister Noble, you've been singing 3 songs. Everybody likes your song. Now Ghanaians have accepted you. We want to take you across the border. And now we want you to start doing songs in English. And this is the case, maybe let's just say you have a contract, you've signed a contract with them. So in such a case like this, what are you going to do then?
That is why whatever that you do, you must first put it to God. If you have prayed about it and asked God for direction, in the first place, He will bring people who understands your vision, your mission, and what you are called for. The people that surround you understand where you are coming from and what you believe in, and they buy into it. And He won't take you to people who that conflict what you believe in. You understand? So it is only when I put that when I want the money. I want the fame, I want this. Then we go to these people that I know can take me there. Then we will get what you want. But if you want to do proper ministry, if you want to make an impact the way God really wants you to make, then you can't conform to the standards of this world. Because yes, the world, they will take you to the world. They will take you wherever you want to do. But the exact what God really wants for you. Okay, and that is the reason why most times people ask, why is it that nowadays the music that comes does not last and then it fades away and doesn't? And I always say that it is because they are going in that direction to which they prefer that they want to do. It becomes a self-centered mission or a vision, but that does not come from God. And if it happens and that everything you do becomes vague, it is only the things that is being blessed by God and has God in it that always lasts and lives for generations to come. So without that, you won't have that. So you choose. It is either you choose God or you choose the world. If you want to satisfy your personal desires and the things you want, then you can go ahead and do it. But if you want to walk in the counsel of God and walk in His way, then you can't do what you think that people or the world wants you to do.
We can't use the whole day to talk about everything, but we're going to talk about the ones that are very important. Maybe some other day when Minister Noble is around, we are going to cover other stuff. But speaking of which, you said something about music taking you to the world and taking you to places. And so far as I'm concerned, I know you've had a lot of songs out there, and some of your songs have even received nominations in Ghana. So far as VGA, Ghana Music Award, and those stuff are concerned. And then now, 2 things I want to find out from you. Do you think, as a Christian artist, there's a need for you for your songs to gain nomination in all these award stuffs and this award stuff you are talking about, does it actually also comes with money? Because if someone is giving you an award for something, it means you've done well in something. It's not just calling you, coming there. You see a whole lot of people sometimes in Ghana, you hear they are going to VGMA, they are going to use all their money, go and sew some new, order some dress, even rent a car and come. But if you go home, some of them didn't go home, and the next thing what you hear is that they are broke and stuff like that. So I want to find out, first, like I said, as a Christian, is there any need for you to get yourself involved in all this award stuff? And does money actually comes from it?
Well, first of all, for what we do, we do not do it so that we will be rewarded by human beings, by men. We do that. We do it to gain recognition by
From
God,
God.
and what the assignment is given to us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a gospel artist or a Christian singer, I don't think your focus should be on awards. It is good to be recognized for what you are doing. That's welcomed, but it shouldn't be the focus to which you're doing what you're doing. So personally, I do not care whether I'm being nominated or not being nominated. What matters to me is how many people I'm impacting, and how many people that I'm blessing is in with the songs or the things that I've done. But then the awards is not the focus for me.
Yeah. And what about the money aspect?
Well,
People who receive award, you think, do they actually get any money from it?
Each and every one has their own reasons for doing whatever they want to do. I don't think that I would want to spend so much money just because I want to get an award.
But people do it.
Yeah, I know that's them.
Okay.
But I don't think that I want to. No, I've seen this.
Okay.
I mean, I've had some of these awards.
Yeah, I remember.
That only gives recognition, but it doesn't add
any
money to you.
Yeah.
It may somehow or some way give you recognition, which the recognition will bring the blessings that comes with it. But then, of course, God is the one who blesses. And no matter how hard you try, there are some people who have done all these things and yet still have not had whatever they desire to have. But so what I will ask and treat as that we should focus on God. Pray for God for His grace and His favor. And then when all these things is done and you do things right in His own counsel, the blessings there, they will come. They will come. I must say that I have been blessed much more for what I do than what the music itself has given me. So I look up to God all the time and not look and focus on except that sometimes as human beings, you want to be rewarded for the efforts you put in and the things that you do. And when it doesn't happen like that, you get disappointed. But your disappointment should not lead you to making wrong choices instead of following the counsel of God. And I believe that when we do that, God in His own ways will bless us in so many ways.
Okay. Well, that's good. We have that experience. So, Minister, I want to ask you, now that you are in Hamburg, and I know you'll be going to other places in Europe, and I'm sure it's something that you do a lot. Have you considered trying to have any collaboration with most of the artists that we have around here in Hamburg? Like this, we have this guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, he's called Nketia Man. I think he's got a song with Emoji, Man of God, and we have also this lady called Queen Judith, and a whole lot of them. Are you thinking of doing? I
already have songs with some artists that are in Europe. Some from Italy, some from Germany. And I still looking forward to working or collaborating with other people and I've done songs with people in London. And so it depends on how God brings us together and what God is directing the two of us, whoever it is.
So it means you are open for more collaboration.
Yes, sure.
But these people that you say, can you mention one or two names, the ones you say you've done?
I did a song with Alex Mackenzie, who is in London. I've done a song with Minister, what's his name?
Here in Hamburg?
He's in Italy. Yeah, in Hamburg, not in Hamburg, but I think there was this gentleman I did a song with in Essen. I think he's here to release a song.
We'll not hear
and then recently I did a song with Minister Tina. She's also in Italy. She's the granddaughter of Nana Tufo. And the song is yet to be released. And there are more to coming up. But the song is theirs, not my song. So it depends on when they want to release it. So absolutely entitled to that.
So speaking of which, like you said, this is something that we notice a lot in the industry. I think anytime someone have a collaboration or a feature with someone, you realize that it looks like if the other one is a huge artist, he leaves the promotion and everything to the other one. Meanwhile, you can tell it's both of them that are on the track. So
I don't do that. but the person owns the song, so he or she decide on when to release the song. After the release of the song, for instance, what the song I did with Tina now, I'm collaborating with the hair management to see how best we can both partner to promote the songs, both here and in Ghana as well. But then the release date, it's entitled, it's in their hands. So once they give the go ahead. Then we can begin from there. And then any way I can do to support, to promote the song, I'm always ever ready to do so.
All right, guys. You just heard it from the minister himself. It's not like one of those people that when you do song with them, they will leave the song lying down there. He said he's going to do whatever he's going to take for him to promote the song out there. So if you are here in Hamburg or you are here in Germany and you want to have a collaboration with the legend here, it is here. I want to find out if someone wants to reach how they're going to get to you, but before we go to that, you have a lot of hit songs. Top songs. This morning, even before I came, I was listening to a couple of your songs, and it's so surprising. Today at service, when I came to the church, like you said, all the songs you sang, some of them were like 15 years and 20 years, but even when you sang that, I could still feel, I felt something like, I felt something, and I like you said, I'm asking, what does it take for a song?
It's the grace of God, like I said. God has to be in it. God has to be the power behind the song, and not what you personally desire. And whenever the God is behind the song, it lasts for generations. I mean, there are so many hymns that we sing. It's been 17, 16, some 14. But today we're still singing, and they're still powerful. So that's what I mean by when God is behind it. It's always as new as it was made the very time it was made. Yes.
Speaking of which, so all the songs that you've sung, which of them should I say is your favorite? Let me put it that way.
I actually don't have a favorite of my songs, because every song that I do means a lot to me.
Means a lot to you.
Because I want it to mean so much to the person that is listening. Most of the songs that I write are things that evolve around me, things I've experienced, things that I testify to, things that I want people to believe, to know about God. So I'm very passionate when it comes to doing my music. And so it's hard for me to choose. However, there's one song, unfortunately, I won't say it's not too popular like there are some other songs, but that's the song that I'm so much attached to it. And it's called Nchemeden.
Nchemeden. And what does that mean in English?
Nchemeden means, what would I have done?
What would I have done?
You know, and because it speaks my mind, it speaks where I'm coming from, it speaks where I'm coming from, and that God took me, and how far He's brought me, and the fact that I owe everything that I am now to Him. And so anytime I hear that music, sometimes if I put myself out for the fact that I did the song, it still blesses me. So it's one song that I'm really much attached to, but then it's hard to choose.
All right. So you guys, he just said it. So if you also want to know if that song was going to touch you like he said, if you not heard it, please go out there and look for it and listen. What's the title again? Nchemeden. All right.
You Are the Reason album.
You Are the Reason album. And which of your album is that?
Is the fourth album.
It's your fourth album.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So speaking of which, so now I want to find out. These days, people. I realized when I came to church today, when you were ministering, after that they were selling a couple of your CDs, and then I was saying in my head, these days, I don't know if people still buy CDs. And then I'm like, so the old people and the old women still buy them. I know even selling pen drive. But I bought one of the CDs though just to keep. So but then I'm asking, so now that people don't buy CDs much and everything is through streaming and stuff, in case somebody wants to stream any of your songs or want to have them, where would they get them? Aside YouTube, which I know you're on YouTube.
So on all the digital platforms, they can have my songs there to listen to. Boomplay, iTunes, Apple Music, Diva, Spotify, Audiomack, and almost all the except that when they are looking for my name officially, my Nketia is spelled Nketia. IAH.
Okay.
Most people do it TIA. When you do that, you won't find
it. Okay.
But when you spell it NKETSIAH, then you find all my albums, that I have recorded.
Okay.
And then interestingly, there are so many people who have been following me. They love my music, but they don't know some of my music. Because they don't know that it's there. So they should go look out for it.
Okay.
And I'm sure they'll be very much. I'm telling you, you'll be blessed so much.
I was blessed today, honestly. I felt like 10 years ago when I used to listen to those songs. So like I said, he's giving you all the places that in case you want to listen to his song, you want to stream, where you can find them.
They can also follow me on my Facebook page with the same spelling of my name, Noble Nketia. Yeah, on Facebook, Noble_Nketia, on Twitter, Noble Nketia_official on both Instagram and TikTok. And then Noble Nketia Ministries on YouTube, and then they can find all the songs that I have produced. All right, guys. The minister is on all the platforms. So in case you are looking for him or you want to follow him, listen to his music, he has given out all the information. But minister, one more thing I want to find out before we go. You know, in case someone wants to invite you here to Europe for you to come and minister or sing for them, what is it going to take? Because I heard there are some musicians out there, when they were, before you invite them, they'll ask you to at least put some amount of money in their account even before they come. And you know, I don't know. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. So you just only have to get in touch with us.
Okay.
And we do the necessary things that will enable me to be here, because you know I can't just get up and come
exactly.
to so once I have my visa and I can they buy my ticket to come, the rest, well, I mean, it's with the people to decide on what to
So you guys just heard, in case you want the minister to come, if you are here anywhere in Hamburg, you are a pastor, you own a church, you have an organization, or you want him to come and minister, he just said there's no bureaucracy around it, so you just have to go. Are you under management now? Or?
Yes, I have let me say I have an
agent or
a representative here.
Okay.
So I'm sure that you can put the number there for them.
You give me the numbers, and later we'll have the numbers down in case you want to reach his representative. Then you can get in touch with them.
Wherever you are in Europe, where you can always call them, and then they'll talk to them, and they'll make the arrangements for me to be here. And I'm always ready to be a blessing to anyone who wants me to be a blessing to them. And I believe that when you do so, God will not disappoint you.
All right, guys. So like I said, or like I've been saying, this is Labote YouTube channel, and we bring you this interview. So like I said, we can't do it all in one day. So I think the minister have said enough for today. So we're going to end it here. In case if there's something else that you think you want to know, any other time that he's here in Europe, well, we're definitely going to bring him here for you. We're going to ask him all the questions. So like I said, we're going to leave it all here now. So minister, it was nice having you on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay, you're welcome.